I've been on my fair share of Tinder dates. Some have been good, some have been bad, and some have been downright scary. But nothing could have prepared me for my date with Mike. Mike seemed like a nice guy on paper. He was cute, funny, and we had a lot in common. We talked for weeks before we finally decided to meet up in person. We met at a coffee shop in the city. He was even more handsome in person than he was in his pictures. We talked for hours, and I felt like I really connected with him. At the end of the night, he walked me to my car. We kissed goodnight, and I felt like I was on cloud 9. We started dating regularly after that. We went out to dinner, we went to the movies, we even went on a weekend getaway together. Everything was perfect. But then, one night, things took a turn for the worse. We were at my apartment, and we were getting ready to go to bed. Mike started acting strange. He was fidgety and nervous, and he kept looking over his shoulder. "What's wrong?" I asked him. "Nothing," he said. "I'm just tired." But I could tell that something was off. I tried to brush it off, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. That night, I had the worst nightmare of my life. I dreamed that Mike was following me. He was always just out of sight, but I could feel him watching me. I was so scared that I woke up screaming. The next morning, I told Mike about my dream. He just laughed it off. "It was just a dream," he said. "There's nothing to be afraid of." But I couldn't shake the feeling that my dream was a warning. I knew that something was wrong with Mike. A few days later, I was at home alone when I heard a noise outside my window. I looked out, and I saw Mike standing there. He was staring at me, and he had a look in his eyes that I'll never forget. I was so scared that I didn't know what to do. I ran to the phone and called the police. But by the time they arrived, Mike was gone. The police searched for Mike, but they couldn't find him. I was so scared that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if he was going to come back for me. I moved out of my apartment and changed my phone number. I tried to put my life back together, but I was always looking over my shoulder, afraid that Mike was going to find me. A few months later, I was watching the news when I saw Mike's face. He had been arrested for stalking and assault. I finally felt like I could breathe again. I knew that he was finally behind bars, and I would never have to see him again. But I'll never forget what happened. I'll never forget the fear that I felt. And I'll never forget the warning that my dream gave me. If you're ever on a Tinder date and you feel like something is wrong, trust your gut. Don't be afraid to walk away. Your safety is more important than anything else. But what if I'm not so lucky? What if Mike finds me again? What if he hurts me? I can't stop thinking about it. I can't sleep. I'm always looking over my shoulder, waiting for him to come back. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do.